Well, good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Taylor Stephenson, a certified broadcast meteorologist based in Norfolk, Virginia. We're doing a special edition of the Weather Desk today for our weather impact alert. We're tracking a line of what has been some strong to severe thunderstorms in place. That same system brought that severe weather across the area for parts of Alabama and Mississippi, where the tornado outbreak happened last night. So I'll give you a look at what was happening and what happened last night with storm reports, but it all goes to the east today. So we're watching out for a lower end severe weather risk, a strong to severe storm risk, a level 2 out of 5 risk from this afternoon through about noon on Monday. That timeline on Monday could be pushed up a little bit further as some of the newer model runs are showing maybe a quicker exit of that cold front. The main impacts that we're going to see from these strong to severe thunderstorms are going to be gusty winds from the thunderstorms up to about 60 to 65 miles per hour. Heavy rainfall is also one thing we're keeping an eye out for because we're watching for multiple rounds of rain between this afternoon and tomorrow morning. And with the rain heavy at times coming over the same places, what we call training, it means that we could see the potential for some street flooding. So we're talking widespread, possibly very heavy rainfall leading to street flooding. So what you need to do is stay close to the forecast. Stay tuned. We have another stream to this evening with meteorologist Hunter Forst. If you download the 13 News Now app on your mobile device or the 13 News Now Plus app on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV, then you can be able to rewatch forecasts, watch our rotating radar stream, but also with the mobile app, we'll send you some alerts straight to your phone. So what you need to know is that a tornado watch is just outside of our area at this point. This watch is mainly for parts of north central North Carolina. It includes Roanoke Rapids down to Rocky Mount. So just a county or two away from us at this moment. So could this be issued downstream? Possibly, especially for places that are going to be mainly around this I-95 corridor. That's the strongest potential for maybe some brief tornadoes. Any tornadoes we do see will be nothing like they saw back in Alabama and Mississippi yesterday. Those were very strong, very violent, long track tornadoes. Here we're talking brief, weak tornadoes, anywhere from maybe an EF0, maybe as high as an EF2, but that is really pushing at this point. EF0, EF1, very short-lived tornadoes. So we'll watch out for that. But again, just seeing that now again, that pink area just outside of our area by about a couple counties is in that tornado watch at this point. So here's our live look at our satellite and radar. We've had increasing cloud cover all morning, but it does feel really nice outside because we had a warm front roll through, and that brought us some of those warmer conditions. Current satellite and radar shows you that we have a couple of isolated showers across the area rolling up from south to north. So right now we have a few showers between Knott's Island into Creeds. We're also seeing an isolated shower near Woodhouse Corner and then a shower offshore of Virginia Beach. Now, I did see a few people out using our sky camera looking through parts of Virginia Beach, and I can show you that people are actually enjoying what has been a fairly nice morning when you calculate the fact that it's been cool most mornings, but we also are seeing a few raindrops coming through on our camera now. And even if we look from our Dairy Queen camera, you can see the people outside enjoying that, even though a few sprinkles are coming down now right at the ocean front. But those who are wanting to get outside and enjoy the weather, you have maybe a couple of hours until the rain starts around 3 to 4 p.m. today. So if you have anything to do, now is the time to get out and try to get your errands or your exercise or your outside time out of the way, because this evening it just won't be possible as storms start to kick up. Now, here's what we're looking at in our regional view in terms of our satellite and radar. We're seeing a lot of cloud cover spread across the Delmarva Peninsula all the way through southeastern Virginia through Hampton Roads and northeastern North Carolina. Again, seeing those tornado watches pop up. So another watch is spanning from just right south of the Great Lakes all the way through West Virginia, and then kind of clipped off by the Appalachian Mountains. So we're seeing that there was a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible in that area. Right now, we're seeing just a big severe thunderstorm warning just outside the area for Raleigh. But when you see our boxes that are yellow with a red outline, that means a tornado is possible. So this cell right here near Raleigh has a potential to spin up and create a brief tornado. So we'll be watching for that. Area-wide, not much going on the north side of this system, but the south side of the system has been producing some pretty severe weather. Even if you go down towards parts of South Georgia into North Florida, they've been seeing some warnings there, even a tornado warning now between Waycross and Brunswick. So this system obviously has a history of producing those very intense storms, and even the possibility of some of those storms that did produce tornadoes. So I do want to take you through a look of storm reports over the past about 12 hours, and most of these storm reports span right back through parts of the Tennessee Valley into the deep south. Look at how many tornado reports there were from parts of extreme extreme southeastern Louisiana all the way through central and eastern Mississippi. I mean, multiple tornado reports. So we'll zoom in and show you near Meridian, there was a tornado report just on the south side of the city. And in Meridian, this is a city of, just near Meridian, the city of Clarksdale, in Lauderdale County, there were trees down along a local highway. But the one that I was looking at while I was watching local coverage from other stations is this one right here that was really close to the radar site. And it had a pretty good tornado debris signature. And with this system, it was really hard to see because it came so close to that radar site. But this was for near the Shelby County Airport, just south of Birmingham. And it had multiple businesses that sustained damage from what they suspect to be a tornado. Now, a lot of these tornadoes between Mississippi and Alabama, a lot of them were confirmed because they were spotted on the ground either by trained spotters, locals, or storm chasers. So a lot of these are tornadoes, but they have to be rated first. And for those who don't know, tornado ratings get a rating from EF0, Enhanced Fujita 0, to EF5. And we do not rate those storms as broadcast meteorologists. That is all on the National Weather Service. Their job is super important. And so they are the ones who will go out, do the surveys of these suspected or confirmed tornadoes, and then give the tornado a rating based on what they think the maximum wind speed was and the damage associated with that. So some things to keep in mind, even with this storm report just south of that tornado report, here is extensive damage, unfortunately, to a trailer park in the city of Calera, and there's possible tornado damage. So that's really sad to hear that people's houses and homes were potentially destroyed in this. So we are thinking about our friends who have been impacted by this very dynamic storm system that has been tracking across through parts of the central part of the country, all the way into now the Great Lakes, Tennessee Valley, down into the mid-south and deep south. So again, this is heading our direction. This has a history of producing some really gusty straight line winds and also tornadoes. So here's where we're sitting right now, and here's like the bigger picture of where this storm system is at this point. We have this really, really strong system bringing weather all the way up through parts of Canada and some snow to the Great Lakes. But then we're talking severe potential all the way down the East Coast. So here's a look at the Storm Prediction Center. A new level 3 has been issued for parts of western Pennsylvania. So they could definitely see some of those Damaging wind gusts. We also, with this system, especially in that bullseye of the enhanced risk, the level 3 out of 5 risk you see there as we get closer to Pittsburgh, and just barely clipping parts of upstate New York. There is a tornado risk up and down this whole system, anywhere from this enhanced risk down through the slight risk and out to parts of North Florida. But in that bullseye with the orange color, this enhanced risk, that is for the highest possibility of seeing those severe winds, wind gusts anywhere from 60 to 70 miles per hour with any thunderstorms. And again, our hail threat is not there, but if you head towards central Virginia, then that hail threat is there. So that's for the entire area. But for us here locally, we're talking a level 2 out of 5 risk for the western 2/3 of Hampton Roads in northeastern North Carolina. We still are underneath a level 1 risk for the immediate coastal areas, so the eastern shore, northern neck, parts of the middle peninsula, half of the peninsula, and then slicing right through the south side. So Norfolk is just outside of that level 2, but right on that border, and then Virginia Beach, you're just outside of that, including parts of the northern Outer Banks. So regardless, everybody is in that risk for severe weather for today, so we all need to pay attention and stay weather aware. Again, you're fine to go outside now. It's dry. We're not expecting any rain until the middle to late afternoon. So if you're going to be heading out tonight or thinking about what are the impacts that are associated with this system, for me here in Hampton Roads in northeastern North Carolina, we're talking damaging winds. That's going to be our main threat associated with those storms and street flooding as well. Damaging wind gusts could be as high, again, as 65 miles per hour. But then when you have those storms that are going to be coming in rounds throughout the evening, through the overnight, and lingering into early tomorrow morning, then we're watching for the potential of street flooding because the rain will be very heavy at times, if not most of the night. Especially in a place like Hampton Roads that floods super easily. Like me, every time I think of immediate flooding, I think of Ghent in Norfolk because it just floods so easy. So in poor drainage areas or just areas that are just known to flood easy, you'll have some issues tonight into early tomorrow. Now, our hail risk is very low. It's higher as you head towards Richmond. So if you're thinking about heading towards Richmond or you're going to go see some family, hang out with friends in Richmond, be aware of that. Tornadoes are on the lower end for us here in the coastal Virginia area, coastal Carolina area. As you head inland, that risk does get a little bit higher. So we are watching for that. Again, that tornado watch that we have in effect that I'll show you again, that is just outside the area by about 1 to 2 counties, and that encompasses the I-95 and I-85 corridors, and now includes Raleigh as well. So could this be issued further north, further east? I could see that. I could also see them saying, hey, the dynamics are not here to really support a tornado watch, but we will supplement that with a severe thunderstorm watch. Remember the difference between a watch and a warning. A watch means that the ingredients are favorable for conditions to occur. This is your time to kind of get prepared and make sure you have everything in place for the action part of it. When you have a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning, that means that you need to initiate that plan. So for a severe thunderstorm warning, you need to just get inside. When thunder roars, head indoors and just be away from windows and doors. If you are underneath a tornado warning, you need to go to the lowest place of your building, and if you do not have that option, you got to go to an interior room. That's going to be a bathroom away from windows, a closet away from windows. The best thing, though, if you do have it, which is fairly rare here, a part of the East Coast, it's more of a deep south and central part of the country deal, but if you have a tornado shelter or a storm shelter, that's your best option in any scenario. But if you don't, basement and interior room are second best to that. So let's walk you through the rest of your Sunday so you know the timing of this system that is incoming. So here we are. We're at 11 a.m. Sunday, which is pretty breezy. Wind gusts as high as about 35 to 40 miles per hour. And I'll show you some recent wind gusts in just a second. But right now, temperatures are in the upper 60s and lower 70s. We'll reach the middle 70s by this afternoon. Storms start to get going around 3 o'clock. But I want to pay your attention to the setup of what the graph is showing. This is our graph model. And I want you to notice that storm that spans from Emporia south. Do you see how it's kind of bowing out? A lot of times when you see that feature of kind of bowing out from the actual main line, that suggests that there should be some type of strong winds pushing out from the storm. So we'll watch to see if that happens across the area. So again, being our main threat for today. We'll have a small break and then our next round of storms rolls in. And by that time, by tonight, the storms become more widespread. Notice how heavy this rainfall could be here across the area. We'll continue with these storms just lapsing time and time over southeastern Virginia and northeastern North Carolina. Will continue with that rain through the start of rush hour tomorrow. This is 6 a.m. tomorrow. And if you live in places like the Eastern Shore, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, down through the Outer Banks, you may have some issues when it comes to messy conditions tomorrow morning as you're heading to work. So try to give yourself an extra couple of minutes. Good news is, though, most of the severe threats should be over by the time we get into Monday morning. So by Monday afternoon, we're seeing clearer skies. The problem with this system, though, when it comes to actual temperatures, is that the cold front rolls through during the morning time. What this will do is have our temperatures fall throughout the day. So the morning will be the warmest in the middle 60s. By the time we get into the afternoon and evening, we're back into those middle to upper 50s. So it won't be the warmest day. It also won't be the coldest day we've ever seen. We also may see a few isolated showers throughout the evening time, and then we'll clear out as we get into Tuesday morning. Much colder and still fairly breezy. Wind gusts on Monday night into Tuesday can still be as high as 25 miles per hour. So it definitely will not be the warmest conditions. So again, that's why I encourage you to try to get out now before those storms start. Again, now between about 2 o'clock, you'll be fine, because after that, we're going to cool down to start off the work week. So overall, this is how much rain we're thinking about expecting from now through Monday. And that's going to be anywhere from a widespread 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. But notice how some numbers have been trending a little bit higher. I will say they've been going back and forth with this model, but if the rain is heavy enough and moves over the same areas enough, we may see an isolated 4 inches of rainfall. It's a lot of rainfall over a span of what would be about 12 to 18 hours. So again, that's why localized to street flooding is really a possibility here as we get into the next few hours. So St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, and so I know there's probably a lot of events that are going on, and you probably want to know what's going on in terms of how you can actually celebrate outside. Again, the rain should really start to taper off by about 7 to 8 a.m., and then we'll see the temperatures slowly falling throughout the day. So warmest around 10 to 11 a.m. tomorrow, cloudy skies. We still have the opportunity for an isolated shower, but the majority of the event will be over by about 9 to 10 a.m. tomorrow. So if you're thinking about maybe pushing your morning St. Patrick's Day plans in, that's probably a good idea. For the afternoon plans, you'll be okay. You'll just have to wear a jacket. It just will be on the cooler side and also fairly breezy. Speaking of breezes, let's talk a little bit more about our observed wind gusts. This was yesterday for these wind gusts, and you're going to definitely see the difference between what we saw yesterday, seeing maybe wind gusts up to about 21 miles per hour. That's about it. But today, a big different story, and showing you a recent wind gust, but zooming in on it. Right now, we're seeing wind gusts as high as about 29 to 30 miles per hour in Newport News. As you get into the south side, wind gusts as high as 35 to 38 now there in Suffolk. And so we're really starting to see that wind gusts get close to that 40 mark that I talked about all morning long, seeing wind gusts as high as about 40 miles per hour. Recent wind gusts on the North Carolina side of things, a little bit chiller, but still fairly breezy. Wind gusts as high as about 25 miles per hour. For those who are just joining us, we are underneath a weather impact alert for the potential of strong to severe thunderstorms later this afternoon. We're talking late afternoon through noon on Monday, so March 16th and 17th, which tomorrow again is St. Patrick's Day, so I know there's a lot of events going on between now and tomorrow. So I would say if you have events, especially later on this evening after about 8 p.m., I would say those plans may have to be moved inside just because the rain will become much more widespread. The main impacts we're looking for with this system is gusty winds from those thunderstorms up to about 65 miles per hour. But from non-thunderstorm wind gusts today, as I just showed you, they can be as high as 40 miles per hour. So overall, regardless, it will be a very breezy day. We're also looking out for the opportunity for some very heavy rainfall moving over the same places throughout the next 12 to 18 hours, and that could lead to the potential for street flooding. So be very careful, especially in places that have very poor drainage. Remember, when flooding happens, turn around, don't drown. You do not want to risk the opportunity of getting stranded and having to have emergency services or other people try and get you. It's just an all-around no situation. Now, overall, what you need to do is, one, when thunder roars, head indoors, but two, make sure you have multiple ways to stay close to the forecast, whether that's watching us here at 13 News Now on air or online or on your mobile device. But also, if you download the 13 News Now app on your phone, you can get alerts sent straight to your phone. Now, here's a look at that QR code that you can see right now from the 13 News Now app. If you scan that QR code right now, it will lead you directly to download the app. We are going to continue to talk about this as we get into the next few hours. Meteorologist Hunter Forst will be back here at 5 p.m. with a stream, so you know the latest updates on the forecast. Again, there is a tornado watch that is just outside of the area. This lasts until 2 p.m. today. That's in that pink color here through I-95 and I-85 on the North Carolina side of things. Again, it's possible they spread this up northward because the Richmond area has the highest potential of seeing the spin-up tornado threat, or basically brief tornado threat here in parts of Virginia. But I could also see them saying, hey, the tornado threat's not as great as you get towards the coast, which is good news for us, but they may issue a severe thunderstorm watch instead to cover the area and to cover that system. Again, right now, satellite and radar for us is doing just fine. We have a couple of isolated showers. I showed a video, or excuse me, our sky view earlier. It showed that the raindrops were coming down in parts of the ocean front. So a few isolated showers, that's not the event at all. The event is still well out to our west, but right now, again, those isolated showers still in parts of deep parts of the south side through parts of the Albemarle Sound. But the big picture shows you that we have this tornado watch just to our south, and then we also have this line of storms that are going across parts of Virginia. The good news is right now, though, I haven't seen any warnings on this side of the system in between where we had that level 3 up there in the Great Lakes and then south where we had multiple tornado watches. The Virginia section of this hasn't really been doing much. So that's good news for us. We hope that trend would continue. But what we know about storms and severe weather season is that as storms enter a much warmer air mass, which usually happens during the afternoon, it gives it more energy to get going. So there just might not be enough energy back here to really get those storms going, but we would have that energy since temperatures will be soaring into the middle 70s. So overall, it's going to be a day where we're just watching out for that severe potential. But if you were on my stream earlier and we talked about the storms that happened last night in Alabama and Mississippi, this system is far weaker as it heads towards the east than what it was when it was down in Alabama. We just don't have those same ingredients in place. It also has to do with local geography and topography as well, because of the unique placement of the Gulf states. They usually do have that climate that really gets those storms going. So overall, our threat is much lower, but still we are in a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. Again, people right now seeing a little bit of breaks in the sunshine sunshine at the moment as you see people out and about getting in their exercise before that rain starts. Temperatures are really warm at this moment, upper 60s and lower 70s. So it is a really pleasant start to almost the afternoon at this point. So again, if you have time, get out and enjoy it because this system is going to be entering our doorsteps by 3 to 4 p.m. Still in that level 2 out of 5 risk, level 3 to our north, but again, the western, the eastern third of our viewing area is underneath a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather. We may see a brief tornado or two if the further west you live. So I'm talking places like Ahoskie, Franklin, Emporia, Richmond. That's your bullseye. For us here in parts of Hampton Roads, our main threat is going to be those damaging wind gusts and the potential for some street flooding. Now again, meteorologist Hunter Force, he's going to be back here at 5 p.m. to go through the newest model runs to give you the latest updates on what to expect over the next few hours as he leads into the event. He'll be here all night to make sure that you stay safe. Remember again to download our app so you can have alerts sent straight to your phone. Make sure to stay weather aware and remember when thunder roars, head indoors. So if you need anything, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. We'll give you updates on what to expect with the storm. But for now, make sure that you are paying attention online. We have a discussion waiting for you to read through so you know exactly how to prepare for Sunday night into your St. Patrick's Day morning. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Taylor Stephenson, a certified broadcast meteorologist at 13 News Now based in Norfolk, Virginia. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend and a good start to the work week. Again, we're here to keep you safe and make sure that you, again, tap into all of our social medias, all of our websites, and to watch us on air at 5 p.m. on our stream, 6 and 11 p.m. on air. I hope you have a good rest of your day.